Hello Flosstube, it's Nicole and welcome back to my channel. Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. Cannot believe how fast this month has flown by. I have done some stitching and some other fun things this week, and so I am going to share all of that with you. I also have some fun giveaways, as well as announcing last week's giveaways. I was going to do my Stitch Mania plans for May, but I am going to push that off to next week. I need to finalize some stuff and I just did not have time to get that done. So I will be sharing that next week. I do have a couple of things I wanted to talk about really quick. The first thing is that I know many of you found me via Flosstube. Initially, a lot of you probably found me because my channel is a lot of card making and paper crafting. I started out and continue to be a paper crafter. I am a full-time content creator for paper crafting. That is my job. It is my job. It's my income. All of that. So I just wanted to remind everyone, I had a couple of comments that wanted to know if I could please move my Flosstube to a different channel, and I'm not going to. It's all going to live here on this channel, and I just wanted to explain why that is, and thank you for understanding. The other thing, I also had about 2 comments that said regarding giveaways and giveaway winners that if I'm announcing them during my card making videos that they're not going to hear them. I'm never going to announce giveaway winners for Flosstube during any of my other content. The only videos that I announce giveaway winners for charts and fabric and all of that good stuff is here on this channel. It will be in Flosstube episodes at the end of the video as always, plus I do list it down below and I have timestamps down in the description so it makes it easy to check those things. Okay, with that being said, I am going to go ahead and we're going to jump into Q&A. I have a lot of Q&A this week. So Paper Renee, have you considered pinning a comment? This isn't really a question. Well, kinda. Have you considered pinning a comment at the top of your comment section with the date the giveaway closes? No, I hadn't, and thank you so much for that suggestion. She suggested that like right off the bat last week, and so I did pin that to the comment section. I think that's going to be a huge help, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. That is brilliant, and I appreciate you. Diane, do you happen to know what the Navy Star fabric is called and where we can purchase it? And I'm sure that's the fabric from the Summer Memories trunk show from last week. By the way, thank you to Fat Quarter Shop again for that. That was so much fun. And I know you're going to see it pop up on some of your other favorite quilting and Flosstube channels as well. So exciting, and definitely check it out in all those places. I did look it up and I believe it's a Minick and Simpson. It is not current. You would have to find it on eBay, and I forgot you guys. I forgot to write it down. I will link it down below, or I won't link it. I will write down what the fabric is called. You're going to have to search it out and look for it. Suki Scrappin' Fox 214, she said Brenda from Brenda and the Cereal Starter, which is another great Flosstube here on YouTube. Highly recommends Total Framing, and you can ship to them, and they have great customer service. So this is in regards to the framing question I posed last week. I have a lot of great comments and suggestions. So this isn't exactly Q&A, but I felt like it belonged here in this section. So Total Framing, everybody. I'm going to definitely be checking out that. And if I can find a link, I will put that down in the description to them. Let's see. And then the other suggestion is a beginner's needle, said that Jill Renzel Studios, she said hands down, that's who she recommends, and you can also ship your piece to them to be framed. And she says their work is absolutely amazing. So Total Framing and Jill Renzel Studios. So I will put both of those down in the Q&A section down below in case anybody wants to check them out and contact them. Gigi says for a legacy cross stitch piece, she said she had another suggestion. You might want to check Cross Stitch magazines. They have ads for cross stitch specific framing in them, which I thought was a brilliant suggestion. So Gigi, thank you so much. Sue wanted to know if the finishing instructions for these small pillows were in the Summer Memories book. Very minimal. I feel like I do have the book. 1 minute. So this is the book that I'm getting the questions about. This is Summer Memories, and I believe Kimberly said that it's sold out at Fat Quarter Shop, so they have more on order, which is also why I have not said I want to do some sort of little stitch along. I have an idea. Franklin, no. But I don't want to announce anything if you can't get the book right at this moment. So let me show you. I'm going to show you this one. So the finish instruction is in this little blue box. So it kind of tells you what you need, but you're going to have some finishing idea. You're going to have to know how to do, like, make a little pillow, basically. But hopefully that helps. All right. Mrs. B8T, Corey, P Happy, Danielle, and Renee all recommend Hobby Lobby for framing. I thought that was an overwhelming thumbs up for Hobby Lobby. They said it definitely depends. One of the comments said it depends on who's doing the framing there, obviously, but they've all had good luck. So I definitely think I'm going to try Hobby Lobby as an economical option for a piece, and I will let you know how that goes. I have to get one finished before I can take it. But I thought that was good to know, and I hope that helps everybody else. Shelly has a question about the foundation paper piecing that I shared for the vintage kite pattern. She said, is it easier for a newbie to use foundation paper piecing or buy a quilt pattern? And can you recommend any YouTubers that quilt? Okay. Probably, I would imagine that traditional piecing is going to be quote unquote easier. But foundation paper piecing is not hard. I know it's intimidating, and I also know a lot of quilters don't like it, or they really, really do. So I would say watch some videos, and that leads to the second part of her question. YouTubers that quilt. My favorites are obviously Fat Quarter Shop, hands down, so much good information, but they don't do foundation paper piecing except for like the vintage kite. So that is a little bit. Corey Yoder of Coriander Quilts, and I'm going to link all of these channels down below. Sherry McConnell of A Quilting Life. She also has a podcast. I think it's every 2 weeks. It's great, but it's on YouTube as well. And Pat Sloan. Those are probably my favorites. I'm trying to think who else. I also very much like cross stitch and quilting. Elizabeth Ann can stitch. I love watching her, and she offers a lot of quilting information there too, and even some tutorials and things. Those are probably the ones I watch the most, but I say if you're a new quilter and you are looking for the best information, definitely Fat Quarter Shop. Check out their Fat Quarter Shop quilting. They have a quilting YouTube and a cross stitch YouTube, and I think both are fantastic. Let's see. Marlene said she got the floss for the Bountiful Stitch Along, and can I tell you what colors go with what symbols? Yes. It is not going to be an exact conversion. Because I am not stitching mine exactly like that, and also because I skipped ahead because I'm skipping to stitching the flowers and the butterflies instead of the basket, and they haven't released that yet, that I kind of actually set it aside for a minute because I kind of didn't realize that we weren't to the flowers yet. But yes, I will. I will have, when I get back to sharing that, I'm really sorry, Franklin. When I get back to sharing that and I do my Instagram post, I will be sharing exactly what colors I use for each section. I don't exactly know yet. I know what I stitched for the first section, and I will try to post that in my Facebook group. But I don't really feel good about posting that on Instagram yet because that part of the chart has not been released. I didn't realize that. That's totally my bad. So that's a spoiler alert. I know that they've shown the whole pattern, so you know that part's coming, but I felt terrible because I completely just spaced my timing. Let's see. Maxwell Studio 19, do you know when the fabric for Summer Memories will be in? There is not fabric for Summer Memories. So I linked to it last week, and I will link to it again. Susan Aki, who is the designer behind the quilts and the cross stitch in this pattern, she actually uses fabric from her stash. If you watched her video, I will, and again, I'll link to it again, with her interview with Kimberly at Fat Quarter Shop. A lot of this is not fabric that is currently available, and I do think that they did a bundle of fabric that was not exactly maybe used in this book, but I don't know if it's still available or anything. It would be more of pick your own fabric, I would say. So I did want to mention that because there's not a fabric bundle that goes with that book. Dawn says, I want to, she only uses 14 count fabric, and she said that she bought some 28 even weave from Hobby Lobby and doesn't care for it. And can I tell her if Lugana is different? And what would I recommend for Lugana? And a chart that's easy to try for Lugana. I don't have a lot of experience with Hobby Lobby fabric, so I cannot tell you, although most of those fabric brands are popular fabric brands. Lugana is an even weave, but I find Lugana to be soft. It's not crunchy. I call it crunchy. That's not a technical term. But what I started with Lugana after branching out from 14 count Aida was I had done some linen in the past, but when I came back to cross stitch is how I should say this, I was doing 14 count, and I got 25 count mushroom Lugana, which I bought a yard of it, and I think I've used every bit of it. So yay for that. But 25 count is great. 28 or 25, I would say, would be a great jumping in point. And any pattern, anything would be fine on it. I will tell you what I first started stitching on 25 count was the Primrose Cottage Hive Rules. That's one thing. And the other thing I stitched on 25, and I'm still stitching. I finished Hive Rules. I need to finish this one. The other thing I started stitching on 25 count Lugana, and it was an antique white Lugana, which I also highly recommend, and it's just solid white. I think it's antique white actually, is the Bonnie and Camille Shine On sampler. which will be in my Stitch Mania. That's a spoiler alert. I know I'm not doing my Stitch Mania, but that will be in my Stitch Mania. Because I want to try to finish that one next month. That's my goal. Anywho, I would say try that 28 or 25. Light taupe, which I know is super hard to find right now, but I just feel like it's a great basic. Either light taupe or mushroom in 28 or 25 would be fantastic. And personally, I think that the Primrose Cottage patterns are an easy stitch for that. So maybe pick one of those. Or anything else you like. I stitch what you like. You definitely should stitch what you like because that will keep you stitching. And I do think that there is a learning curve. I did not immediately jump right back into linen. In fact, when I stitched on linen quite a while back, my eyes were younger, even though I don't think I'd had a LASIK yet, and now I'm already back to needing glasses, but only for distance. I take these off to stitch, but I use a magnifier because I'm 20-some years older. I'm like 25 years older than when I stitched before. I would say the biggest thing, good light, and a magnifier or readers if you need them. Mary says, do you think you will do the 5 for 5 in May, or are you doing some version of Mania? I'm going to do my version of Mania, but I'm doing 5 for 5. I am continuing this. I have loved it this month. I have really, really loved it this month. And I think I want to keep in the practice of it. I am going to make Mania somewhat special. I meant to have the plans, and my week didn't go as planned, as always. But I am sitting down I know you see this on the weekend, but I'm sitting down Saturday afternoon, and I am Stitch Mania plan, and I will talk completely about that next week. I know that will be right in when May starts, but I am going to do a 5 for 5. And because I kind of want to do Stitch Whip Mania, where I'm going to work on whips. I think I will try to do a new start maybe, and I'll talk about that next week. But yes, I love the 5 for 5. If you have not tried 5 for 5 and you have a lot of stitches going, I highly recommend it. I think it is a great way to really focus in on a piece and get a lot of good stitching. Okay. Let's move on. Next, I want to talk finishes, and these are, I guess you can consider these FFOs. They're not going to be traditional FFOs. So I know I shared this one on my Instagram. I'm going to take it off of here. Well, no, maybe I'll leave it on. Be easier to see. But I had showed that I picked up these mini hoops. I was inspired by Christy Java Girl Stitches and also Emily of Primrose Cottage. They were getting these adorable little hoops and doing little stitches in them, and I want to use them as bag tags for my project bags. And yes, I did sew a project bag this week, so I'll share that in the quilting section. But this is my cute little Santa, and he is from Big City Christmas Department Store, and I just thought he would be cute on my Christmas bag. I absolutely love him. I mean, it would be a cute ornament. If you didn't want to put the little clasp there, the little zipper pull thing on it, you could totally just put some ribbon on this, and this would be the cutest Christmas ornament. Imagine little mini Christmas trees like in your craft room or whatever. I just thought of that. That would be really fun. Okay, so these are addictive and super, super fun. And I did get mine from Amazon. So I do want to show the back. It's wood. I am filming a tutorial. I did have a question asking if on Instagram asking if I would do a tutorial. So I'll share how I finish mine, how I'm making them into tags, and like how I'm putting the stitch in there. This is the exact same fabric I'm using for Big City Christmas. So it's 32 count platinum Lugana by Zweigart. And there is a little wood piece. So it's a circle like this that's smaller. So you get the hoop, the little wood piece, the backing piece, and then you get like a screw and the little things to tighten it. Don't over tighten. I broke one. Of course. I mean, they're not super, you know, sturdy when you're over tightening. I mean, I knew better. Why do I do that? I seriously, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to just keep tightening it. How many times has my dad said, don't strip your screws too by doing that? A lot. I knew better. Anyway, so I love it. That is the first one that I made, and he is cute. Oh, and I took the Santa, and then I thought, so Santa was too big for the little mini hoop I got. If I didn't get ovals, I think he would have fit in an oval. So I felt like he needed stuff around him. So I just took snowflakes from the pattern and I just stitched them around them. Random, completely and totally random, but super cute. And I love it so much. I think it's very fun. I'm addicted. Well, of course, I have a great bee project bag that my friend Karen made me. So it has a little charm on it, but I stitched up a little bee from the I Would Rather Be Stitching chart. I, of course, stitched that on up. And this is a hexagon. I will say the exact set of hexagons and it also has the wood backing. It was made just like the hoops I got. I couldn't find, I think they must be sold out, but I did find a kit that has several different shapes, like maybe rectangles and squares even, where a hexagon comes in it. So that would be a good option as well. But of course, I thought the hexagon with the honeycomb would be really cute, and I love it. And finally, I have a new start this week because I figured, I know Easter's over. Easter was clear at the beginning of the month, but I wanted to continue stitching Easter throughout the month, and so I just felt like having a new start when I finished working on my big city Christmas. So I went ahead and I started a chart, which I'll show here in a little bit, but I stitched 2 of this. This is from an Annie B's Hop On It chart, and this is on 28 count green sapphire linen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And I just think it's so cute. It's stitched exactly like the one on the chart that you're going to see. It's just a little small chart, but I love this little bunny. Isn't it cute? And of course, finish the back. So I really think this size is very doable, but this is big. So let's say if you have an Easter tree, I mean, it's big for a small. Wouldn't that be cute on a little Easter tree? So super cute. So those are the 3 that I have done right now. I'm sure there'll be more, and I am doing all of mine to hang on bags. But you could always unscrew it and take this off if you want and put some ribbon or twine and use them to, you know, decorate in other ways. So those are my finishes. This week are all my cute little charms, and they're addictive. I've seen so many of you stitching them. I love, love, love seeing that. Okay, so the last, I'm going to call it a finish. It's not an FFO or anything like that, and it's part of a bigger series, but I did finish the first one, and I did share this on Instagram. But I'm stitching Big City Christmas by Country Cottage Needleworks, and the department store was the first month. It's a 7-month series, and I think month 6, I think, just went out. I think. I literally started on New Year's Eve, and I had the base. I've shown it to you guys several times. But I finished stitching up the whole first one, and I did get the advice from another stitcher, and they said that once you start stitching, it goes much faster. I am stitching on 32 count Platinum Lugana from Zweigart, and I am going to stitch mine as one long skinny piece. They show it obviously on here as individuals, which is really cute. I want to stitch mine as one piece, so I have a long piece of fabric and get it framed, and you stitch them each right next to each other. So I think the theater, I will have to double check and see what's next. Well, let's look. I have the patterns in here. It's not that. I don't think it's the toy store. Yeah, it is. It's the theater. This is the next one. So there's the theater. And I don't know what one comes next, but I'll just show you the ones I have. There's a hotel. There's the toy store. Look at that little nutcracker or toy soldier. Frank is just going to keep squeaking his toy. I'm sorry. I've tried to dissuade him and he does not care. He learned he could squeak it himself, and so now that's what he's doing. And then the street scene, which I love how that kind of mixes up all the buildings. Really, I'm really loving it. It was, I will say it went so fast when I started adding color, but there's a lot of neutral there. So what I did, I started with the gray down here and built my sidewalk. And then I did all of this light brown color and built my building, did all the dark brown, did all the white, then I did green and red. So it took a while. Oh, and I do want to mention the sign. It says save. I ripped it out 3 times. The back stitching. It's supposed to have a little white border all the way around the save. It looked terrible every time. I decided my sign's not going to have it because I was not loving it. And that was literally the last thing I stitched. And I stayed up 45 minutes past my bedtime. And I thought, this is so dumb. Just leave it with save. It looks good. And let's move on. And so I did. So that is my final finish this week. It was nice to finish another section. Even though it's part of a bigger chart, it was nice to have a finish. And this was one of my 5 for 5s. So, so far, my hands-on design season 2 A Year of Celebration continues. I finished what I wanted to do for that. I did April and went back and did February. I did this, the Big City Christmas. So I feel like I'm accomplishing things. That's why I'm loving the 5 for 5. I feel like I am accomplishing things even though it's part of a bigger overall design. What do we want to talk about next? Let's talk about new starts. And then I will talk about the only other thing I stitched this week, my whip. So my new start, I saw this at my LNS, Heart's Desire in Wichita, Kansas, and I had to have it. So it's the Hop to It by Annie B's Folk Art. And obviously this is what this little bunny is from. Totally love this chart. I think it's so cute. I got the called for fabric and it is 28 count green sapphire linen. I mean, you can see, look, I cut out my little where I made my ornament, but I have stitched a lot of this, and I know the lighting is really bad because I'm filming this late, so sorry. I have stitched most of the top. I have to do some little fill in over here. Like I've done most of this, but I need to fill in with some little flowers and things. And then I started the basket because I still had this color out from the bunnies, and that's in the basket. But so you can kind of see where I'm at. It's going fast. I mean, literally hardly any time at all spent on this. Really cute. And I really love it. First chart from Annie B's. I actually have a couple of others. Highly recommend. I'm using all the called for DMC. I think that's all it is for this. Yep, DMC for it. Except for the white. You guys know how I feel about white. I am using Weeks Dye Works whitewash. So the bunny may have a little bit of variegation. I don't know that you can really see it that much. And I will say the chart does not show, like the cover does, it doesn't, but the chart inside, the actual pattern doesn't show decorating the eggs or the whiskers on the bunny. So I really kind of did my own thing, but I do like what it adds. So I wanted to show that. So I am adding some decorative stitches, back stitching and things to the eggs and obviously to the bunny's face. Really, really cute and fun and loving it. So that is my new start. I'm kind of hoping I can finish this before April is over, just to, you know, finish up an Easter chart. I know Easter's over, but I wanted to stitch on Easter throughout the month, and anything I have left over, any charts, I am working on spreadsheets and organizing by season so that I kind of have a running list. That is my goal and my plan. I probably won't have that done anytime soon, but I'm working towards that. So I have a better idea of things I've started and things that I've kitted up and things I want to stitch. Finally, this week, I have in my bag from my friend Karen that she made, I worked on I Would Rather Be Stitchin' from Primrose Cottage. And this stitches so fast. I am stitching mine on 25 count antique white Lugana because I've stitched my other bee charts on this fabric. And you can, it won't go down that far. You can see I stitched my ornament in the corner. All my fabric's going to have that from now on, I have a feeling. So the last time I shared this, I think I had stitched to right here with the word rather. So I finished the word bee. I started the scissors up here, and I only had the S for stitching. So I moved all the way across and I stitched this bee. This is the bee that I did for my little hexagon zipper charm. Little mini hoop. So I stitched those at the same time. And I think I said I am stitching this on 25 count antique white Lugana 2/2. I forgot to mention that. 2/2 also on the Annie Bees. What else did I share? 2/2 on the 32 count platinum Lugana for the Big City Christmas. Did a lot of 2/2 this week, and I really like stitching with one strand of floss. It's why I've moved up to 36 count, because I like one strand, but I have a lot of these that I wanted to stitch on bigger counts, or you know what I mean. I'm using all the called for DMC for that, and that is the stitching I've worked on this week. Now, I do want to remind you guys of my 5 for 5 plan. So I mentioned 5 for 5 here. That is where you stitch on 5 projects for 5 days each during the month. My first one was Hands-on Design. Season 2, A Year of Celebrations continues, which I know you guys have seen. So that was my first one. And I just mentioned that I managed to get April and February done, and it's looking beautiful. This will also be a Stitch Mania. I'm hoping to achieve 2 blocks again next month for this. Loving that. So that was one of my 5 for 5. The Bountiful Stitch Along, which I just mentioned. Because I stitched ahead, and so I stopped stitching. So it's this, and I am not stitching the big baskets. I am repeating this in all 4. And again, I'll get a picture taken and I will write down my floss. So that I have only stitched that, and I kind of stopped. I do want to go ahead and probably just go ahead and do the whole border. So hopefully I can sit down over the weekend and maybe knock that out. Because I did. I just stopped. Because I think I realized during last week's Flosstube that I shouldn't be stitching that yet. Then the Mend Block Party Sal, which I'm sure I will be stitching on this, and then my other one that I haven't touched yet this month. By the time I see you next week. So this is the Mend Block Party, and it's a Sal by Jessica the Sweetwater Stitcher for her 1-year Flossiversary. And I'm, again, right here. I haven't done anything yet, but I should have some nice progress next week. That was my 3rd. My 4th was Big City Christmas, which I just showed you. So good work on that again. Oh, we're on to page 2 of my notes. I love it. And then I also should have stitched on Plum Street Sampler. This was my 5th chart for the month. This is the day, and this is a new start. I have not started it yet, so I cannot wait. So those are my 5 for 5 for 5 for April. And I will let you know next Flosstube, next Sunday, what my Stitch Mania 5 for 5 will be, as well as any additional plans. Okay. Quilting this week. I suppose I have stuff all over. Well, the first thing is, I know I shared this a while back, but I finally got my binding on. This is the Ashley Stitch Case by Chris Sherman of Winding Rainbows. And I'm keeping my Easter in here. This is all my floss for Hop On It. The little critters and things just kind of made me have Easter-ish vibes. I've got a cute little charm. I have this little bunny charm I got from Cherry Chick, and I love the little bunny because I think the bunny looks like the bunnies over here. Super cute. And I could even probably hang this on here too if I wanted to. Let's go ahead and do it, shall we? Oh no, you can't hang 2 on this one. So whatever project bag, I will hang that one on. But that is what I'm keeping all my floss and stuff in. I just got the binding sewn on. I mean, it's been clipped on for like 2.5 weeks. I thought, how dumb, just sit down and sew it up. I had so many other things to do, and of course I chose that moment when I was on a deadline for work, and I was like, let's just sew that binding on. Oh well, it's done. That's how I roll. And then I sewed a project bag. So I said this on Instagram. The girl who said, oh, I'm not going to do project bags, made a project bag. And I spent basically the better part of a day figuring out how to do this and making it in my way. And the reason I love these zipper bags, project bags, is because I love the size and they fit and they're uniform. I think that's my problem with project bags, is there's so many different sizes, and I know that not everyone has that hang up. It's me. I'm weird, and I readily accept that. But I figured out how to make my bag that size, and I love it. So it's kind of a combination of several different patterns, if you will, but it's completely finished inside. I did quilt the front and the back. I used one of my labels from Sweetwater Fabric Co. I love Sweetwater. The fabric, I believe, is I don't even believe, I know, it's all fig tree. Love it so much. And the house and the tree, these are from Cluck Cluck Sew Modern Table Runners. And I looked for patterns that I already had this pattern, and so I made the blocks and put them together like this because I just wanted to decorate my bag, because that's how I am. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I mean, there are some things, it was learning experience, and I definitely will make more, and I have learned some stuff, so that's good. I did use soft and stable for both the front and the back because I like my bag to be not flimsy. So anyway, I guess I'm all in on making bags. My friends and I are having a weekend in June and we're making bags. So the girl who said that she wasn't going to make bags, I lied. And I am just announcing that right here. I'm all in. Okay. The final thing I quilted, I had a lot of quilting this week. I'm only going to share a couple of these. Mostly because I think the rest are way underneath this pile and I don't want to get them out. I am still working on the Vintage Kite Quilt Along with Fat Quarter Shop. This is a stitch along using the Vintage Kite paper, and I did 8 more blocks this week, and they both, the reason I'm only going to show you 2 is because I did 4 of this one and 4 of this one. And I did use the Honey Bee fabric from Riley Blake Designs, My Mind's Eye for Riley Blake, except for my grays. There aren't that many grays in the collection, and you may remember from last week, I used the grays from the collection. These are actually from my stash. They're Bonnie and Camille fabrics, and I thought the grays were really nice, so I think they'll mix in really, really lovely. I'm loving sewing these, and I have a video tutorial, so down in the description, I will link to that. If you're interested and you want to see how the paper piecing works, check out my video. Okay. Let's go over some haul. The first thing is I went crazy. I love the Primrose Cottage bundles, and so sorry, I know that this is going to be loud, but I thought I would take the fabric out. If you watch Primrose Cottage live streams on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, they always like share new things and whatnot. Well, a couple weeks ago, they showed some beautiful fabric bundles. I don't know if these are available or not. I will link just generally to their store. Here, maybe. But I love them. So project bags, cross stitch finishing, quilting, whatever. But I love a lot of their curated bundles that Lindsay or Emily curates that aren't like all one collection. I love those. Those are my favorite. I don't know if these are all one collection or not, but I thought these colors were really pretty and I thought they would make a lovely project bag. So that is what I got these. And I have several of these bundles and I'm just going to share them. Plus, Lindsay sent me the cutest note. Lindsay actually picked my order, so she wrote me a little note, which was really fun. I shared that in my Instagram stories. Okay, so I also got this bundle. I mean, if you guys know me and my fabric stash, polka dots, little low volume, gingham, little gingham especially, plaid, little flowers, more beautiful plaid, little polka dot. Oh, those are actually little pink stars. I mean, cute. A little paisley print and more little flowers. This is my jam. I love small prints. I find the big prints are always gorgeous, but they're what I use for backings for quilts because I don't know how to incorporate them in my quilt front. But little patterns, I noticed that if you guys have followed me since scrapbooking, maybe some of you have, where pattern paper was my jam. I've always loved paper and die cutting. Go figure. I knock things on the floor. I have always loved the little tiny patterns and the little tone-on-tone patterns. Nothing has changed. It's just a different medium. And then this one is definitely like a bee theme, like their bee colors. And I don't know if any of these are still available, so if they're not, I'm super sorry. But check out their bundles. They are gorgeous. Like I want to make, I don't know, something with that. And then I bought this, and I know that there was like a quilt kit, and I do think this was still available when I checked 2 days ago. I don't know if it still is. I did not get mine to do their little quilt. I'm going to do something else with mine. maybe a project. I wanted to do like a patriotic project bag, but with a floral theme. So I want to do like all little 2-inch, well, these are 2.5-inch squares, do a quilted project bag. And I just thought this was super cute. And this is probably going to sound so funny, but I love this fabric. This is totally my jam too. What fabric is this? I bet it says on the selvage. Beautiful Day by Corey Yoder, and that's exactly why I love it. And then this is Sweet Liberty, which is gorgeous, by what? Brenda Riddle Designs for Moda. And it's hard to see, but it's just really, really cute collection. So I bought all that fabric from Primrose Cottage from their Etsy shop, and I have a link down below. I'm going to finish showing. I also got this pattern because I didn't have this bee pattern, and I felt like I probably needed it in my life. I think, so I did the little bee in a little hoop. I think the little beehive would be super cute in a hoop as well, if I can get it to fit. Don't you think? But yeah, I want to do this as well for my bee stitching. So just to add to my stash. The other thing, which I just showed, I got the hexagon charms, which I will give you the link that I can find because my link no longer worked for Amazon, but where you can get some of these. But this is what they look like. They come in a bag and they come kitted. Really, really fun and cute. So I got some hexagon little hoops, and y'all know me. I needed some heart hoops. So I'm excited to do something with those. I'm adding that to my little mini hoop stash. My order from Chantal's 141 Design came. I ordered the square up backer. I just have not had a chance to do anything with those. I ordered the square up backer, and then I also got, can't remember what this is called, but it has a heart and it's really cute. I will link what it's actually called down below. So I got all of that from Chantal. What else? So I noticed I got my month 4 Friesen season ornament. These are designed by Annie Bees, and then the kit is from Crazy Annie's, or kit, the club is Crazy Annie Stitchin'. I have only stitched month 1. I really need to work on these. This might be a mania thing I work on too, but I did notice that they said there's some spots open in this, so I will link to that down below as well. You can see if there's still any room or any spots available if you'd like to join in. It's all snowmen, and they are amazing. I love them. I also got my Stitching with the Housewives month to month June with floss pattern, and my month 11 for the 2020, is this the 2022? Yeah, designer mystery block of the month. I need to get on finishing these so I can get my quilt done and get my quilt sent off to get quilted. And that is my haul this week. I do have some Stitchy mail and kindness. So the first thing is from Tracy. And Tracy sent me this cute card. And then she made me these darling little flowers that I cannot wait to add to my patriotic stitches and displays. Absolutely love these. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tracy. So beautiful. And then Molly, in one of my live streams, I believe, yes, it was a live stream, we were talking about this, And she said she had made herself a letterboard for her craft studio. And so she said that she felt like she needed to make me one. Isn't that so cute? Oh, I see that I bumped it. I thought it was hilarious and I love it so much. Oh, I bumped these too. And she sent all the extra letters and things. And I didn't even share her card. She made a beautiful card. Look how pretty that is with the foiling. So thank you, Molly. Absolutely love this. Cannot wait to display that. And then the final thing, I didn't ask if I could share who sent this to me, but a dear friend sent me this, and I get it. I should really, well, I'm not going to put it all together all nice. It came beautifully. So you're going to see already, and you're going to know, if you know, you're going to know what's in here. I was beyond touched. These Kohana scissors. What's funny is I had just been looking at buying a pair, and I hadn't yet. And she sent these to me, and really, really grateful for her friendship. And like I said, I didn't ask if I could share, and so I don't want to out her, but she knows who she is, and literally so touched. So thank you. Love you, friend. Beautiful gift, and these will be treasured. I have already used them, and you guys, I didn't think scissors would be make a big difference, and they do. And look at the packaging. I just pinched my finger. I'm going to get a blood blister, I'm sure. And I didn't get it all put in there. The packaging is stunning. Okay, so that was my Stitchy kindness. Giveaway time. So, I do have a few unclaimed giveaways. Last week for this one, I am going to go over them really quick because I will pick a new winner next week if I do not hear from you. So the February Stackables Cottontail Cross Stitch. Please message me. That was from Flosstube 38, and that was actually the second winner chosen. So let me know. And otherwise, probably just going to offer it in a new giveaway the next time instead of going back to that old video. That I chose a new winner for, so we will do that here in a minute. From Flosstube 40, and again, last week for these as well, or new winners will be chosen. This amazing pattern, the Cottage Garden Postman, Teresa Thompson. Teresa, if that is you, please contact, or if that's you, contact me so I can get that mailed. Fat Quarter Shop Chicken Club Hattie, Marsha Branch, please message me. And then the Fat Quarter Shop Welcome. That was Quiltma Sue Gooden, so please message me, and I can get those out to you. This is the last week, and then I will choose new winners next week or put them back in the queue for a future giveaway. Okay, you guys, I did choose a new winner from Flosstube 39 for the More Chocolate Bunnies. Oh, good gravy. So here on the screen, Susan, I am not even going to attempt your last name. Susan, if that is you, please message me. You are the winner for this. And then last week, Flosstube 41's winners. The winners, I had two winners of the Summer Memories book from Fat Quarter Shop, or the It's So Emma. And that is Kara Ponder and Vanda Russell. Congratulations. And thank you, a huge thank you to Fat Quarter Shop for so generously sending those for my viewers. Thank you guys. Thank you, Fat Quarter Shop. Hop On In. This was my copy of Hop On In after I stitched it. Tracy McMullen. The Lori Holt Stitch Cards O goes to Kim Ray. Kim, if that is you, please message me. The Finally a Farm Girl, oh gosh, Roll and Flax goes to Lucinda Goldie-Fishes. If that is your comment, please message me. It's a really pretty pattern. And then the two winners of the 14 count Ada that Chris, a viewer, so kindly shared. These are approximately 24 by 31. My two winners are Vicky and Kelly. If those are your comments on the screen, please message me and I will get your fabric out to you. Congratulations, everyone. This week, I also have 5 giveaways. So in order to be considered for a giveaway, please be a U.S. resident, please be over 18, and like the video, subscribe to the video, and answer a question, but I did not come up with a question this week. So, you know what? I always like hearing what you guys are stitching, so just tell me what you're stitching or quilting. Either one. I love hearing that. And thank you guys for sharing what your favorite patterns were from Summer Memories last week, whether it be cross stitch or quilting. I loved reading through all of those. That was very, very fun. So thank you guys for doing that. So this week, just tell me what you're stitching. I know we do that one a lot, but I love hearing, and I think it's very inspiring. And also tell me, you know what we really should have done? I'll do it next time, but I'd love to know if you use like a 5 for 5 or if you stitch the days of the week. I know Priscilla and Chelsea of Stitching with the Housewives kind of do like the Santa Sunday. I don't even know if I have the days right. I used to have them down. Witchy Wednesday and Fall Friday and all of that. If you stitch on a schedule like that, let me know that too, because I always like knowing, do you stitch on a schedule? Do you think it helps you? Just share all the things. I love when we have a conversation in the comments. So this week I have 5 giveaways. Put the numbers that you're interested in down in the description below. The numerical number, don't write the number out. I use a random comment picker, and so I just enter in the information and it spits out the winners. So number 1 is Lindy's Stitches Stellars J. And this was part of a club, I think. It's really, really pretty. That is number 1. Number 2 is Annie B's Let's Go Sledding 12 sled ornaments. Put a number 2 in the comments if you would like to win those. Number 3 is Little House Needleworks Bumblebee Petites. I have these. I need to get started on them. That is number 3. Number 4 is Just Cross Stitch, the 2022 Christmas Ornaments book. Put a number 4. And put a number 5 in the comments. If you would like the Luminaries quilt pattern from Fat Quarter Shop, I actually forgot to give this away. I've had this for a little bit, and this is donated by Fat Quarter Shop, so thank you so much, Fat Quarter Shop. Beautiful pattern. Okay, and hear me out. Imagine this. If you like patriotic quilts, imagine this in patriotic colors. I think this would be stunning. Okay, that is number 5. So thank you guys so much for spending time with me again this week. I hope you all have a wonderful stitchy week. I hope you get some great stitching, quilting, crafting time in, and I will see you all next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new Flosstube stitching or quilting video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.